Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have another Pickup Sticks by Marty Sears. This one is Lavender. And okay, so Lavender is acting as what's the title that it's gone with this one? Shoot, I can't think of the name of it. I'll have to look it up because my brain's not working right now. But two digits that are equidistant along from the central spot are sum to the digit on the central spot. And I cannot for the life of me think of what the rule set is at this moment. But again, I will look it up and get it in the description. But anyway, it's Pickup Sticks Lavender by Marty Sears. We've got normal Sudoku, so every row, column, and 3x3 box will contain the digits 1 through 9 once each. And I think there might be a version that isn't colorized like this. I might put a link to that as well, just in case this doesn't work well with your eyes. But anyway, two digits that are an equal distance from the central spot of a lavender stick must sum to the digit on that central spot. And it looks like the central spot is noted. Good, so we don't have to count and try to remember what's what. So essentially what it means is that these two digits, whatever they are, will add up to a value. That will be the same value as this. Whatever these two are will add up to that same value as well. And then a stick always has a lower total, the sum of all its digits, than any stick which lies on top of it. So this is the whole premise of the Pickup Stick series that Marty Sears has done. And this is one of 5 or 6 of them, I think, that are out there right now. I've done one of them. Which one was it that I did? I've already forgotten because it's been a couple of weeks now. My brain is really bad. I can't remember. I think it was maybe palindrome or something like that, but I could be wrong. Anyway, essentially what this means is that this stick here is on the ground, essentially. This stick here is lying on top of that stick. So the value of this line is going to be larger than the value of this line, just by the total of the values of the digits on it. Well, this stick here is sitting on top of this one. So the value of these digits must be larger than this one, and so on and so forth. So we've got to figure out like a min-max type of situation of values to be able to make these work. So those are the rules. Link, of course, will be in the description below. There might be a couple of them, dependent on when I go back. If there is another link to a non-colorized version, there may very well be. But anyway, let's get at this thing. The first one we did was very fun. We'll see if we can get through this one as well. So let's get at it. Now, I do find curious that this long old stick is covered by this not so long stick. So what's the minimum this stick could possibly be? Because we have to also take into account that we have, it's not just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Actually, it could be, because they could just be some offsetting set of digits. Well, but then they would add to 4 as a minimum, wouldn't they? Yeah, we couldn't ever set it up where it would be like a 1, 2 here to make 3. Yeah, there's no way that works. So what's the best way to think about this thing? Because again, these can't just be, well, maybe these can be 1, 2, 3, I guess. And we could have this be a 4. And then these could be 2 digits that add to 4. That would be the bare minimum I think that this guy could be. So if that's the case, that's 6, 12, plus another 8, we're at 20. So these guys here have to at least add to 21. Now, is that super helpful? Well, oh no, even further along, I didn't even notice this. This stick here is sitting on that long boy. I'm going to put 21, 21, as that is the minute. No, wait, 20. This one was 20. So this guy could be 20. Wait, did we say 20? 6, 12, 8, 20. Yes. Told you the brain's not working all that great. This guy is on top of this. So his minimum is 21. Now, this guy is on top of this guy. So his minimum is going to be 22. Now, this guy is on top of that one. So his minimum is actually 23. And I can put that in just that way. Now, of course, this is just giving me the digits that are the minimums here. There's probably some reduction on these where you can't really make it equal 21. No, I guess you could, because you can make these add to 7, these add to 7, and this be a 7. But then this wouldn't be 22, would it? It'd probably be up to more like a 24, because these have to add to the same value, these add to the same value, and these, so it's 3x. If this is 7 as in 3x, this is going to be 3x. It has to at least be 8 or higher as the x. Well, that makes 24. Then this is the same thing, 3x, but it can't be 8. So it has to get up to a 9 as the x. That's 27. So these do add to 9 because we are now at a max. The most this can ever be is 9. So this is 9. So these are multiple ways to make 9 to get to 27. This is going to be an 8 because we have to get from the min of 21, which is 3x and x being 7. So this has to be 3x with x being 8, and it has to be lower than the 9. So this is 8. This one here, this is the one I put the 21 on, has to be 7 to be 3x to get to 21. So I can start to erase this stuff. It's not necessarily anymore. And this guy has to be that 20. Because I think they said that was the lowest we could make it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we make those add up to 4 in however they're distributed. And then these could be adding to 4 with this being a 4. So I think that's how we have to do it. This is 4. These have to be a 1, 3 pair. And these are 1, 2s, and 3s. 6, 12, 16, 20. Those are all our bare minimums. Good. Now, this here, can we do anything with you just yet? I don't think we can. We just know that these two add up to 8 because this guy, this one here and this one here share the same central point. This here has to, well, it has to be a 3x as well because we have 1, 2, 3. It has to score lower than a 6, or sorry, as a 6. Because we can't put a 7 here because of this one. We also can't put a 7 here because the 7x would get us to 21, but this guy is a 20. So this has to at least be down to a 6. It could go down to 5. Can't be 4. I guess it could be a 3 as well because we could do 1, 2, 1, 2. I don't think that causes a problem in any of these other ones. Not that I can see offhand. This would be a 1. This would be a 2. Yeah, that's fine. There's nothing crossing over. I think we need to continue on our sticks here for a second. This is another 3x. It has the same quality as this because it has to be lower. Well, no, it actually, yeah, it does, because this is a 21. So we have to say that this has to be lower than the 7 times 3. So the 3x is 3 times 6 or lower. So again, 6, 5, 4. This one could be a 4 because of this, I think. Well, it actually can't be a 4, can it? It probably can't be a 3 either. Because we can't do, this is a vertical position, so these would both be a 1-2 pair, and it can't be that. And if it's a 4, these are a 1-3 pair, and this would be a 1-3 or a 2-2. Either way, it's breaking, so it's not 4. Okay, so this is either a 5 or a 6. Let's see if we can use any of these crossing members here to do any work for us. Because we know this and this are going to add to 7. So this is either a 4 or a 6. If that's a 4 or a 6, this is a 2 or a 4. Not quite correlating just yet. Let's think elsewise. This is a 2x. That just has to be less than 21. Every 2x is going to be less than 21. So this could be a high digit. This has to be less than this as a 2x, though. 98765. I don't know if I really want to go down here. I'm just kind of putting this in for a second to visually see it. 4. That's a 4. Yeah, it can't go down to a 4. Because these would have to either be a 2-2, which this can't be a 2, or a 1-3. This can't be a 1 or a 3. Now, can it be a 5? Because again, we'll have to do either a 1-4, which will work because this could be a 1, this could be a 4, or a 2-3. Well, the 2-3 wouldn't work because this would have to be a 2 or a 3, and it can't be that. But so this is a fairly, it's not really reduced too much. But what about you? You obviously can't be 9 because this one has to be lower than this one. It can't be 8 or 7, so we're looking at 6, 5, 4. Now this one can't be 4 either, because this would be a 1-3 pair, and this can't be 1 or 3. So now we've actually raised this guy up, because these can't both be a 5, so this one has to be higher than this one. So this is not 5. Can this be a 6? Yeah, it can be a 5 or a 6. Let's go through the options. If this is a 5, this can't be a 2-3, so it has to be a 1-4. If this is a, because we might get something crossing here. If this is a 6, can't put a 3 here. So this is actually never a 3. We would have to put a 2-4 or a 1-5. So those are the options of what this could be. Now, that, I don't think that actually reduces this any. Because this could be a 6 with a 4-2 or a 5-1. The 7 will work with a 4-3 or a 5-2. The 8 would work with a 5-3. And the 9 could work with a 5-4. Now, is there enough on, maybe we can keep going around these things and getting to a point where we do break it. So let's put these options in and see how it works. Again, if it's a 6, this is a 1 or a 2. 2, excuse me. Choking on my own spit. If this is a 7, this is a 3 or a 2. If it's an 8, we said it's a 3, because it can't be 4-4, it has to be 5-3. And if it's 9, it's a 4 or 5 pair, and this would be a 5. Okay. Now, we can remove the 1 as an option here, because this would have to be a 6. Well, this one could never support the 6. So that's not a 1. It still doesn't rule out what this can be, because it could be a 4-2. If this is a 2, that will still work, because this could be a 5. If it's a 3, a 4, if it's a 5, a 2. Okay. We're getting some reductions here. I'm just waiting for one of them to really cement things. Let's go continue then on the process. Because if this is a 2, this is a 3, and it adds to 5, can't be a 2, 4 to go 6. If this is a 4, this is a 1 or a 2. If it's a 5, it's a 1. Not quite having triples or anything like that going on here just yet. I guess another thing we can say is that there's never a 9 on any of these lines. Does that actually help us? And we can't rule this out as 9, though. That one can't rule out. I don't think that actually helps us any. It's an interesting thought, though. Because if you think about reducing the 9s, it doesn't create any type of X-swings or anything like that that I can see through here. No, okay. It was a decent thought to have. Let's just continue the process. 1, 2, or 3 means this is 7, 6, or 5. Because we know what this value is. Now we don't... Okay, what about you? If that's a... This is a 1 or a 3, so this could be a 2. It could be a 2 or a 4 if we're going to a 5. And it could be a 3 or a 5 if it went to the 6. Again, we keep having these little bits and pieces, but they're not quite working to our favor. Now we might be able to... We can put in some options here, even though we don't know a whole lot. Because obviously this digit has to stay below 6. So 1, 2, 3, or 5, because it can't be 4. So maybe we just get to the point where we're just blasting this thing with a bunch of options, and we can tear away at it a little bit. Although I don't know this one is all that helpful. So that's a 1. It could be a 2 to get to the 3. If it's a 2, it could be a 1 to get to the 3. To get to the 5, it'd be we could do a 1, 4. I don't think I want to go through that. I might do that if I can't find anything else, but that seems like it's getting too tedious here. Is there anything here? Because maybe we can get this column running. These are... Yeah, so these add up to 16 total, which of course is below the 24. These could be 2, 6, or 3, 5. Do either of those options break this? What if this was a 2, 6? That's fine, because this could be a 1, 5, 4. What if it was a 3, 5? That's fine, because it could be 2, 6, 4. Is this always a 4? 3, 5 says this is 4. 2, 6 says this is 4. That's 4. We can't do 1, 7. And obviously we can't do 4, 4. So this just is a 4. Okay. That means this is not 8. 2, 3, 5, 6. We need a, well, 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5, 6, 7. We need a 9 in one of these two, but that's not going to get us very far. Okay. I don't think we can't reduce these guys down anymore. Just removing that 8 didn't do a whole lot. Maybe we need to go into these guys a little bit better. Like, can this really be a 5? it would have to have a 1, 4, and a 2, 3, and it can't be a 5. Should have seen that earlier. Again, choking on something. Yeah, because if this is a 5, these have to be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that breaks this. This is 6. This is 4, 3, 1. Now we're starting to make some progress if you just look at the right place. This can't be 6, so this can't be 2. Let's keep on going here. Now, if this is 6, these are 1, 5, and 2, 4. This can't be a 3. So 1, 2, 4, 5 means this is 3. This is 1. These are not 1s. This is not a 3. Okay. What else we got now? We made some reductions. This can't be a 4, so this can't be a 2. I was hoping we get a little bit more, but one of these two is a 4. Not massive, really. We also do have some Sudoku. Did the reduction here cause a reduction here, maybe? 2, 5, no it doesn't, because 2 5s and 4 3s will work. Okay. This 1, well, it does reduce this, because this can't be a 3. So it's either a 1, 2 to make a 3, a 1, 4 to make a 5, or a 1, 5 to make a 6. Okay. Now, can we do any Sudoku with the information that we've pulled together? So one of these is a 1. This could still be an 8, so we can't rule that out. Just trying to find something in here that we can work with. One of those 3 is a 1. One of those 3 is a 1. Boo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Maybe not. Thought we might get something there. It doesn't quite look like it. Okay. Again, worth the look. And one of these two is a 1, but... Okay, what else do we have then? Let's continue our thought process. Maybe we do need to come down to this one and put the options in and see if we cause anything now that we've put a little bit of a reduction, I guess, there. So if it's 3, that's 1 or 2. If it's 5, it could be 2, 3, 2, 3, or 4. Obviously, this one can't be a 1. We'll get rid of that. If it's 6, it's either 2, 4, or 1, 5. No, that's not really all that helpful. The only one we haven't done is this guy. Well, and this guy, but I don't know how useful that is at the moment. We know these add to 9 in some way, and so do these. How do we break that down? Or is there something with where the... Because one of these is going to be a 2-2 pair. The other one's going to be a 1-3 pair. Doesn't look like they're crossing over where we would be killing some options there. Okay. Are we going into this 9 clue? Because again, all the options we have shown on these guys, I don't think we can reduce these guys just by the mathematics of them. Right? Because this is a 21. These just have to be less than 21. It always will be. This is a 20. These have to be less than 20. They will always be. This has to be less than 20. It will always be with the options shown here. Okay. So no, I don't think the math is actually getting us any further on this one just yet. I really don't want to go into this 9 though. I feel like it's not really going to give us what we want. Because there's still, obviously you can do 1, 8, 2, 7, 6, 3, and 5, 4. So it doesn't take a ton of information out of these. You know, I could do this and then pare away a little bit at the options, but that would be just obnoxious. So what am I missing here that we can actually do something with? Let's think. One of those is a 3. Maybe there's more Sudoku here than I thought there was. And maybe there's not. One of those is a 4. One of these is a 4. Well, we already know that one of these is a 4. We know that one of these, therefore, has to be a 2. So therefore, this isn't a 2. We could have also looked here and made that deduction. One of these being a 4, I don't think helps us in any real way. Yeah, none of this other stuff seems to... There's not enough digits here. Is maybe there's some play between these two, where if we put this at a 6, it causes some problem here? No, it's not, because if this is a 6, this is a 5. This becomes a 2, this becomes a 1. That seems to work just fine. There's no... One of those has to be a 3. That's not helpful. Okay, I'm getting stuck here for some reason. I feel like I made really good progress. The only thing I haven't looked at is this guy, but can't be 1, can't be 2, can't be 3 or 4, but it could be anything else. I really think we needed to get some of this other work done before we can do anything here. Well, I guess it can't be a 5, because we can't put 1, 4, or 2, 3. Now, if it was a 6, it would be a 1, 5, but that could work. 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s. Huh. What is missing here? Because this value just has to be less than 20. Yeah, it's always going to come true. Oh, I didn't see on... I was looking on this line. I didn't see this line. This has to be a 4. Now, I don't know if that actually... Well, we got some reductions here, too. This can't be a 5 anymore. This can't be a 4, so this is 2. There we go. There's a little something. Of course, those don't cut over to anything. Ain't that a pip? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7s, 8s, and 9s. This is not 8. So one of these is. This 2 says this is 6. That doesn't cut across to anything. Imagine that. Maybe now there's a little bit more, because we have some more 4s to work with. No. why would that be helpful? 6. We already had the 6s. I mean, we did add this 6, I guess. So that's a tiny somethingness. We added this 2. We didn't have any 2s to begin with, so that's, well, this isn't a 2, so this isn't a 6. So, okay, there it is. This is a 3-5 pair, which means this is 6, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now this is not 6, so this can't be 2. In fact, it just is 3, which means this is set. There we go. Goodness. Took me too long to see that, and it's just because of this guy here, because I wasn't looking, or it was actually this guy here, because I wasn't looking on this line, but for this line. Anyway, this should hopefully do some work. So let's just see what we put in and what that does for everything. This 3 says this is 5 and 3. Get rid of that. One of those will be a 3, but I'm not, this is not a 3. Or a 2. So this can no longer be a 3. If this is 4 or 5, it can only be 1 or 2. This 1 says this is either 4 or 5. Again, do we have anything crossing over looking at these? I don't see anything right off the bat, so we're going to have to go back into Sudoku. Because now we've probably got something we can do. Yes, this is a 1. That forces the 5. That forces the 4. This is 5. Therefore, this is 4 and 1. Good. We're actually making progress. Okay. Now that we've got all that figured out, we should have work we can do. This is a 1, which means this is a 1, which means this is an 8. Can we finish our 1s? Looks like we have an X-wing left over. One of these is, and then like one of these is. 2s. Let's jump into that grouping. See if we can find anything. One of these is... All right, that didn't do much for us. We already kind of looked at the 3s. One of these is... Oh, no, here we have a 3 right there, which forces this to be 1. And this must be a 3, which I think is pushing this to be a 3. So that should be all the 3s. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Good. 4s. You are now a 4. We should be able to work these 4s. Yep, this is 4. And was that it? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 5. This becomes a 5, which I think sorted this. Yep, this is 5. One of those 2. This 1. One of these 2. And I think we said there was an... Okay, we actually do have an X-wing we can use, because one of these is a 5. One of these is a 5. So we have these guys looking here, so this is 5. Good. Then let's keep on. This is a 6. This is a 2. Doesn't quite get us there, but we do have a 7 here, says this is 9, 7. These are not 7s. These just end up being a 5, 7. Not quite looked at yet. These 2 have to be 8 and 9. Not quite resolved. These 2, 2 and 7, not there. You 2. 8 and 9, not there. You 2. 6 and 7, not there. This is going swimmingly. Let's... No, we got X-wings left over. I'm not necessarily going to mark everything where I know it's just an X-wing. Because I think there's probably better work we can do. We can probably work on this line. We haven't finished it yet. Yeah, let's do that. So, yeah, here we go. this can't be a 7 because it'd force a 2. So this is 2, 7, 7. There's that. We're eventually going to get down to this guy. This probably is just to finish everything off. I think we said 1s are down to an X-Wing. I'm going to go through this one more time. 2s are getting close. One of these is a 2, which means this is a 2, which means one of these is a 2, and one of these. So it's X-Wing City. 3s are done. I think we said 4s are done. 5s are X-Winged. 6s still have some work on them. Again, there are a couple things we could put in. 7s, we can do those. This is a 7. We can do some of them. Okay, 8s. Again, all these clues are done, so they're not going to help us too much at the moment. One of these is an 8. These are an 8-9 pair. Not great. Can we look at this guy and see if there's any reductions here now? Because this can't be a 6, right? Because we can't use 1, 2. Well, we can use 1, but we can't use it with the 5. We can't use 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's not a 6. Can't be... No, it could be a 7, because it could be 1, 6. If it's an 8, it could be 1, 7. I think this is going to be a 1, is what this turns out to be. It's 1, 7, can't be 6, 2, or 5, 3. If it's a 9, it could be 1, 8. Well, actually, it can't be that, because that would break this. It can't be 2, 7, 6, 3, or 5, 4. So this is not 9, but this is always a 1, which means this is a 1. Is that all of those ones? It is. Good. Now, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost to a quintuple or something usable. Let's see if these digits help us, though. 6, 8, and 9. Not really. You are just 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, somewhere in here we've got some work we can do. I just got a 6, 7 pair. These are from 2, 8, and 9. Wow, I'm not getting it. Let's go through all of these just to put them out there. There might be something in here I'm just missing. 6, 7, 8, 9. This is not 6 or 7. This is 2, 8, or 9. It's not 8. Man. What else? 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. This is not 8. This is not 9. This is 2, 6, 8, 9. It's not 9. Man, what the heck? What am I missing? Stop doing that. These are from 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 5, 6, and 8. Oh, it can't be 8 or 9, so it's 5 or 6. These are from 2, 5, and 6. This is not 5. Huh. No, I was going to say 7s, but there's 2 places for 7s. There's 2 places for 5s. Bunch of 6s, bunch of 8s, bunch of 9s. What the heck am I not seeing here? Is there some grouping here that causes problems? If it's a 1, 6, 7, that doesn't work. Okay, there it is. I had to think about these a little bit harder. if this is 1, this is 6, and this is 7. This is 5. This is 2. What is this? Nothing. This is 7 and 8. 9, 8, 5, 7. Not 7, not 8. Okay. This is not 5, so this is 8 and 9. This 7 says this is 6 and 7. This has to be a 9. So these are not. This is 6. This is 9. That goes 8, 9. 2, 8 says this is 6. This is not. That's a 2, 8 pair. So this is 9, 8. Here we go. 6, 9, 2, 8, 2, 8, 2, 6. There we go. We got there eventually. So only 200 solves in about 7 days. It's not high. It's not low. There's another very good example of a pick-up sticks puzzle by Marty Sears here, though. Other than me choking every couple of minutes and not seeing this it went quite well. I really did enjoy that one because you can really work the math on these, and that seems to be what each of these puzzles is really worked on. You got to figure out the min and max of the maths of each of these sticks and how they can work out, and you'll get to a conclusion, and then you can roll from there. So anyway, I hope y'all, please, I can't stop. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. I'm going to have a sip of water here in a second. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.